What should I do for content today? I have an idea. Welcome to part 2 on morel mushroom slurry. Freaking cut myself shaving. God. In the previous video, I took you through how to make a slurry mixture. In that video, I explained how you could take your 5 gallons of slurry and capitalize it into 40 gallons of slurry. Here I have another 5-gallon container of water, and I'm going to add a half of gallon from my slurry into this, turning it into one big gigantic container of slurry. You can get by with putting only 10 cups in each one of these from your original 5-gallon slurry. Once added, shake it up real well. Alright, make sure also that it's about room temperature. You don't want to shock the spores when you put them in. Now let's take you to some locations that you can use as kind of a blueprint for where you should take your slurry. Any experienced morel hunter is going to know the ideal conditions for where you should put this slurry. Let's go through a couple just in case you didn't know. My foot right here is on the stump of an old elm. These guys, dryad saddle, they absolutely love old elm trees. Right? They tend to grow off of them. You can see a lot of people call these pheasant backs. If you see these guys right here, say you're in a spot in the woods where you see a dead elm like this, if you see this guy pop up right here, it's going to pretty much be a dead giveaway that you got a dead elm. Around this dead elm, you have the bark of dead elm. You have limbs of the dead elm. You have this wood rotting away right here. So this is an ideal spot. It feels like loamy soil. That's a mixture of silt, clay, and sand. They like this because that's how they're able to get their hyphae to form mycelium in the gaps and openings that are created by those 3 types of soil. Because I'm at the bottom of this hill where all this water and moisture tends to run down, it makes it really nice and moist down here and loamy. Taking the dead, decaying wood, all of the mayaples over here, the companion species of tree, and the amount of sun and shade that I have in this area, I have delegated that this area would be prime to put some slurry. This right here is just absolutely perfect. If I was in the woods and I came upon this, I would expect morels to be here. This is an old dead elm tree, and all of its bark and everything down here is just the perfect ecosystem for morels. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna introduce them, baby. We're really going to hit that. Distribute this around tulip poplar, ash, sycamore, beech, hickory, oak. These are all species of trees that morel hunters typically lean on in order to find these mycorrhizal, and sometimes not, depending on the species you're looking at, but more oftentimes than not, you're looking for the mycorrhizal, larger gray or yellow morel. But black morels, they have a tendency to pop up with less restrictions. Like if you say have a bunch of wood chips, you can douse the wood chips you make. That's why this guy really comes in handy. You can douse the wood chips that you have using the same trees that you typically find them around, but you can create a wood chip pile and then inoculate it with the black morel slurry. On to the next location. Quite a bit of property was just cleared here the other day to make room for gardens and lanes on our property, little nature walks, leaving behind tons and tons of substrate. That's what you have to start looking at things as. What does mushrooms grow on? Or what, more specifically, morels. This is a bunch of sycamore substrate right here. Find a perfect spot in the woods. Make sure you can remember it next year. Look for key identifying features like this big sycamore right here. There's no way I can forget that I went up to this sycamore and inoculated it. Key is slight variation, changing it up. You're gonna have this by such an abundance if you do it correctly. You can just go and litter multiple locations, multiple different properties, and all your favorite spots that you've ever found in the woods where you scratched your head going, why aren't I seeing them? I'm gonna hit these deep cracks right here. Maybe they'll permeate deep into the soil and have a better chance to start. Variation. These big containers is only 10 gallons of the 40 you will make from one 5-gallon container of slurry, which you can make from 1 to 5, 10 mushrooms. Obviously, the more mushrooms you use, the higher concentration of spores. Guys, I hope that really helped. And, take some of your bounty from mushroom hunting, maybe if you got an abundance, and try this method out. Supercharging the spores like that could really give them the vigor they need to be able to take hold in a new ecosystem. If you enjoyed my content today, guys, it does me so much good when you like and share. As always, happy foraging.